My brother sent me a text at 9:17 in the morning. "Sis, you are not classy enough for the Harper year-end party. Stay home." I stared at those words for exactly 3 seconds. Then I typed back, "Perfect. My party is somewhere else anyway." 3 weeks later, I wired $80,000 through my LLC and bought a 48-foot yacht. I named it Gray Storm, the nickname they had used to mock me since 8th grade. You will not believe what happened when they tried to steal my boat. Before we continue, if you have ever been the forgotten child in your family, the one who was never good enough no matter what you accomplished, smash that subscribe button right now. Because what I did next flipped my entire family upside down and exposed them for who they really were. My name is Madison Harper. I am 28 years old, and I build brands for a living. I work out of a 1-bedroom apartment in Boston's North End. I shoot product videos, negotiate sponsorship deals, and turn caffeine into content that pays my bills. Most days end with me editing footage until 2 in the morning, my hands cramping around a mouse, my eyes burning from screen glare. Growing up in the Harper house meant living by one unbreakable rule. My younger brother Garrett came first. Always. In everything. Garrett was the high school quarterback who threw for 3,000 yards his senior year. College scouts filled our living room on recruiting nights. Local newspapers ran his photo above the fold every Monday morning. My father Douglas Harper coached the Boosters Club and turned every family dinner into a detailed recap of Garrett's stats, plays, and potential. My mother Catherine Harper kept a scrapbook for Garrett that was thicker than the phone book. Game programs, newspaper clippings, congratulatory cards, recruitment letters. Everything documented like he was destined for greatness. I was the afterthought. The invisible child. The one they tolerated because I was already there. At 10 years old, I asked if I could invite 2 friends to our family New Year's Eve party. My father laughed. "This is not a play date, Madison," he said dismissively. "This is for donors and business associates." I spent that entire night in my bedroom, watching fireworks through my window, listening to champagne corks popping downstairs while I ate leftover pizza alone. At 12 years old, Garrett got a brand new dirt bike for Christmas. I got socks and a generic gift card. When I asked why the difference was so extreme, my mother said, "Athletes need proper equipment, Madison. You do not understand the investment required for his development." I learned to film Garrett's football practices on my old flip phone, editing the clips so college recruiters would notice his best plays. Nobody ever asked what I wanted to study. Nobody ever asked about my dreams. By 15, the pattern was set in stone. Garrett missed curfew after a championship game. My father high-fived him and bragged about it to his friends. I missed dinner one night because I was editing a school video project. My mother grounded me for 2 weeks for having the wrong priorities. My father's younger sister, Aunt Valerie Harper, started calling me every Sunday from Providence. She had been the family rebel, divorced at 30, built a small real estate investment firm from nothing, and refused to bow to Douglas's controlling personality. "Gray Storm," she would say, using the nickname Garrett invented to mock my quiet demeanor. "Your turn is coming. Keep grinding. Do not let them break you." I hated that nickname back then, but Valerie's calls were like oxygen in a suffocating house. Senior year of high school, Garrett tore his ACL during the state semifinals. The injury was devastating. College scouts disappeared overnight. Recruitment offers evaporated. My father sank into a deep depression. My mother turned to wine and denial. Meanwhile, I won a partial scholarship to Emerson College for digital media production. It was a huge accomplishment. A validation of years of teaching myself video editing, photography, and content creation. My parents forgot to attend my graduation ceremony. They were home with Garrett, who was sulking on the couch with ice packs on his knee, muttering about how colleges only cared about highlights and statistics anyway. I walked across that stage alone. Accepted my diploma alone. Drove home alone. Nobody even asked to see the certificate. I moved out at 22 with 2 duffel bags and a laptop. Boston rent consumed half my internship salary, but I was free. I posted my first sponsored video for a local coffee shop and hit 10,000 views overnight. Brands started reaching out. Small at first. Local businesses, startups, independent creators. By 25, I had quit my day job and was working full-time as a content creator and brand consultant. Garrett, meanwhile, was 21 and still living at home. He bounced between community college classes he never finished and odd jobs that never lasted more than a few months. My father paid his truck payment every month. My mother cooked all his favorite meals. He contributed nothing to the household but was treated like royalty. Last fall, Garrett announced his girlfriend Jessica was pregnant. My father threw an elaborate gender reveal party at the country club, rented out the entire ballroom, hired a photographer, catered food, open bar. I got the invitation 3 days late, buried under junk mail. I texted my congratulations. Nobody responded. Thanksgiving dinner was tense. Garrett cornered me in the garage while I was getting something from my car. "You think your little videos make you somebody," he sneered. "Dad says influencers peak at 30 and then disappear." I shrugged. "At least I peak on my own dime," I replied calmly. He smirked and walked away. Aunt Valerie called me that night. "I heard what happened," she said. "Do not let him get in your head. You are building something real. They are just jealous because you did it without their help." Early December, my father called. It was rare for him to reach out directly to me. "Madison, we are having the annual Harper New Year's Eve party at the country club," he said, his tone formal and distant. "Your brother will be hosting with Jessica. It is a significant event for family image." I waited for the actual invitation. "We need you to handle some of the social media promotion," he continued. "Post about it on your accounts. Maybe do some behind-the-scenes content. Garrett thinks it would be good exposure for the family brand." So I was not invited as family. I was invited as free labor. "I will think about it," I said non-committally. 2 days later, Garrett sent the text that changed everything. "Sis, you are not classy enough for the Harper year-end party. Stay home. We need people who actually contribute to the family name." I read it 3 times. Let the words sink in. Felt the old familiar sting of being dismissed, undervalued, forgotten. Then something inside me shifted. Not anger. Not hurt. Something colder, clearer. Determination. I typed back. "Perfect. My party is somewhere else anyway." Then I blocked his number. Blocked my mother's number. Blocked my father's number. The family group chat went silent on my end. I sat in my apartment that night, drinking tea and thinking. For years, I had been trying to earn their approval, trying to prove I was just as worthy as Garrett, just as valuable, just as deserving of their attention and pride. But I was done. Done begging for scraps of recognition. Done accepting their judgment of my worth. I opened my laptop and started researching. 3 days later, I contacted a yacht broker in Martha's Vineyard. I had been saving aggressively for years, living below my means, investing my sponsorship income, building my business. I had $85,000 in liquid assets. The broker showed me a 48-foot yacht. It needed some cosmetic work but was mechanically sound. Perfect for coastal cruising. I made an offer, $80,000 cash. They accepted immediately. I wired the money through my LLC, Stormwave Media. The paperwork took less than a week. When I took possession of the yacht, I stood on the deck looking out at the water and felt something I had not felt in years. Peace, pride, ownership of something that was entirely mine. I hired a local boat detailer to polish the hull and clean the interior. Then I had custom lettering installed on the stern, Gray Storm, the nickname Garrett had invented to mock me. The name Aunt Valerie had reclaimed as a term of endearment. Now it was my statement. On December 20th, I posted a TikTok video from the flybridge. One take. No filters. Just me standing on my yacht with the ocean behind me and the winter sun setting over the horizon. The caption was simple. My own year-end spot. The video exploded. Within 12 hours, it had 5 million views. Within 24 hours, it crossed 10 million. Comments flooded in. "This is goals. Living your best life. Forget toxic family. You are winning." Brands started reaching out immediately. A luxury watch company wanted a sponsored post. A clothing brand wanted a collaboration. A travel company wanted to feature the yacht in their campaign. My phone buzzed nonstop with opportunities. And then I saw the notifications from my family. Garrett saw the video. My father saw it. My mother saw it. Garrett sent a message from a new number I had not blocked yet. "Nice boat, sis. Guess those little videos paid off after all. We should talk about using it for the family party. Would be a great venue." I deleted the message. Blocked the new number. My father left a voicemail. "Madison, this is your father. We saw your social media post. Very impressive. We would like to discuss incorporating the yacht into our New Year's Eve celebration. It would be perfect for our guests. Call me back." I deleted the voicemail without listening to the whole thing. My mother sent an email. Subject line, family tradition. "Madison, your father and I are very proud of your success. We always knew you had potential. Douglas has already spoken with the country club about dock access. We will be bringing the party to your yacht. Garrett and Jessica will host. This will be wonderful for family unity. I archived the email without responding. My father tried calling the marina office where the yacht was docked. The manager forwarded me the voicemail. This is Douglas Harper calling about the vessel Grey Storm currently docked at your facility. My daughter Madison is the registered owner. We need to arrange access for a private event on New Year's Eve. Please contact me regarding logistics. His tone was not a request. It was a command. I called my attorney, Marcus Hayes, immediately. Marcus, I need legal protection, I said. My family is trying to commandeer my boat for their party without my permission. He was quiet for a moment. Do you want to file a restraining order? Not yet, I said, but I need something on record that explicitly denies them access. Marcus drafted a formal document within 2 hours. It was written on Stormwave Media letterhead and cited Massachusetts maritime law. The document clearly stated that Grey Storm was private property owned solely by Stormwave Media LLC. No docking permissions had been granted to any third parties. Any attempt to access the vessel without written authorization would be considered trespassing and would result in immediate legal action. Marcus sent copies to the marina manager, the harbor master, and me. He CC'd my personal email so everything was documented. The marina manager confirmed receipt and logged the order. Any unauthorized vessel or persons attempting to access Grey Storm would be immediately denied. Garrett switched tactics. He sent an email from a burner account with an attachment labeled New Year's Eve itinerary. The file included a guest list, catering menu, fireworks permit, and a note confirming slip assignment for the evening. He was acting like they already had permission, like my boat was already theirs to use. I forwarded everything to Marcus. He added it to the file. Evidence of attempted appropriation. The next morning, a courier delivered an envelope to the marina office addressed to Grey Storm Captain. Inside were fake docking papers with forged signatures claiming my parents had authorization to use the vessel. The manager called me immediately. Miss Harper, these papers do not match our records, he said. Should I notify authorities? Hold on to them, I replied. I will be there in an hour. I drove to the marina with Marcus. We reviewed the documents with the manager. Clear forgeries. The signatures did not match any official paperwork. The permit numbers were fabricated. This is fraud, Marcus said flatly. Your family is attempting to illegally seize your property. File a police report, I told the manager. I want this documented. The manager called the local police station. Officer Chen arrived within 30 minutes, took our statements, photographed the fake documents, and opened a case file. Attempted fraud and trespassing conspiracy, she noted in her report. My family's plan was unraveling, but they were not done yet. On December 30th, the day before New Year's Eve, I was aboard Grey Storm doing routine maintenance. The weather was cold but clear. I was in the galley organizing supplies when I heard voices on the dock. Multiple voices. Angry voices. I climbed up to the deck and saw them. My father Douglas, my mother Catherine, my brother Garrett and his girlfriend Jessica, and a stranger in a black hoodie carrying a tool bag. They were marching down the dock toward my boat. My father was waving papers in the air. The fake docking documents. We have authorization, Douglas shouted toward the marina office. Process our access immediately. The manager stepped out of the office. Sir, I have explicit orders denying your access to that vessel. Douglas thrust the fake papers at him. These supersede any prior orders. The manager did not even look at them. Those documents have been reported as fraudulent, he said calmly. Please leave the property or I will call the police. Garrett pushed past him. Jessica followed, looking uncomfortable. I blocked the gangway. No docking orders have been filed, I said, my voice steady. Step off. Garrett shoved past me. The stranger with the tool bag went straight to the cabin door. He pulled out a handheld device and started trying to bypass the biometric lock. The lock system I had installed was military grade. It required both fingerprint and facial recognition. The device he was using was jamming the signal, trying to override the security. The lights on the panel blinked erratically, then locked down completely. The cabin door remained sealed. Stop, I said firmly. You are committing a crime. My father stepped onto the deck. This is a family asset, he declared. You do not get to hoard it. A family asset, I repeated. I bought this with my own money. It is registered to my LLC. None of you contributed a single dollar. My mother set down a large tote bag she was carrying. Madison, think of our guests, she said, her voice taking on that manipulative tone I knew so well. We have champagne chilling in the car. This is about family image. I hit the marina emergency button. A loud siren whooped from the office. Dock lights flooded the area with bright white light. Officer Chen arrived in her patrol vehicle within minutes, boots crunching on the frozen dock. Evening, she said calmly. I received a complaint about unauthorized access. My father thrust the fake papers at her. We have authorization, he insisted. Officer Chen scanned the documents. She shook her head. These were reported as fraudulent last week, she said. There is an active no-docking order on file for this vessel. You need to leave immediately. Garrett lunged at the biometric panel again. It is my sister's toy, he yelled. We are taking it for our party. Officer Chen stepped between him and the door. Sir, cease immediately or you will be detained. Jessica's face crumpled. She grabbed Garrett's arm. Garrett, stop, she said, her voice breaking. The baby is kicking like crazy. This stress is too much. Shut up, Jessica, Garrett snapped. Not now. She flinched, stepped back, then turned and walked down the gangway, her heels clicking sharply on the wooden planks. She got into their Suburban, slammed the door, and drove away without waiting for anyone. My mother chased after her for a few steps, then stopped. Jessica, honey, wait, she called weakly. But the car was already gone. The stranger with the tool bag packed up quickly, mumbled something about warrants, and disappeared into the shadows. My father's voice rose. This is harassment, he shouted at Officer Chen. I know the police chief personally. This will not stand. Officer Chen radioed for backup. Possible trespassing, gray storm slip, she reported calmly. A maintenance captain I had hired to help with repairs emerged from below deck. His name was Marcus, same as my attorney, but no relation. He had been live streaming the entire confrontation on his phone for insurance documentation purposes. Turn that off, Garrett yelled when he saw the camera. Officer Chen blocked his path. Recording is legal on private property, she said. Back away. A second officer arrived. Flashlight sweeping across the scene. Everyone off the vessel immediately, the second officer commanded. My father argued. My mother pleaded with tears. Garrett cursed under his breath. Officer Chen issued verbal warnings. Leave now, or you will all be cited for trespassing. They retreated slowly. My father was the last to leave, glaring at me over his shoulder. You have destroyed this family, he said coldly. No, I replied. I just stopped letting you destroy me. They piled into my father's truck. Taillights fading into the winter night. Officer Chen approached me. File a full report tomorrow morning, she said. We will increase patrols around the marina tonight. Thank you, I said quietly. She nodded and drove away. The maintenance captain pocketed his phone. Got everything on video, he said. Faces clear, audio crisp. This could go viral if you want. I shook my head. Hold it as evidence first, I said. I want legal protection before anything goes public. He locked the companionway behind us. The harbor fell silent again. Just the sound of ice cracking against the hulls and halyards clinking against masts. Midnight came. Fireworks exploded over the harbor. The maintenance captain raised a plastic cup of sparkling cider. To owning your space, he said. We clinked cups on the flybridge. Just the two of us. Music playing softly from the cabin speakers below. It was the best New Year's Eve I had ever had. At 12:05, the maintenance captain uploaded the footage. He edited it carefully. Neutral captions. Clear timestamps. Focus on the facts. Private property respected, the description read. The video went viral immediately. Within 2 hours, it had 10 million views. Comments flooded in. Support. Outrage at my family's behavior. Memes about entitled parents. On January 2nd, my father filed a lawsuit in county court. He claimed family interest in Stormwave Media assets. Argued that the yacht should be considered shared family property. Marcus countered with the LLC documentation. Corporation papers showing sole ownership. Marina logs. Biometric entry records proving I was the only authorized user. The police reports from the attempted trespass. The judge dismissed the case at the preliminary hearing. No standing, she said firmly. Frivolous lawsuit. Mr. Harper, you are ordered to pay court costs. My father left the courtroom furious. On January 5th, Jessica served Garrett with divorce papers. Irreconcilable differences. She cited public humiliation and emotional distress. She moved to her sister's house in Boston. Kept the pregnancy private. Cut off all contact with the Harper family. Garrett sent me a drunken text from a bar. You ruined everything, it said. I hope you are happy. I deleted the message. I was not happy about his pain. But I was relieved to be free from his toxicity. My mother mailed a handwritten letter. Half apology, half blame. Madison, we never meant to hurt you, but you must understand how your actions have damaged the family reputation. Your father's business has suffered. Garrett's relationship has ended. All because you refused to share. I returned the letter unopened. Marked return to sender. My father's business listings on Google started getting negative reviews overnight. People who had seen the viral video expressing their disgust at his behavior. Sponsors pulled out of future Harper family events. Marcus closed the legal file. Sanctions are possible if they attempt to refile, he said. But I think they have learned their lesson. I sailed Grey Storm solo in February. Anchored off Nantucket. No social media posts. No invitations. No tags. Just me, the ocean, and peace. Aunt Valerie called me once. I am so proud of you, Grey Storm, she said warmly. Blood does not buy loyalty. You earned your freedom. I blocked my family's email domain. Shredded old photos. Updated my emergency contacts to list only Marcus Hayes and Aunt Valerie. Self-reliance became my inheritance. Not trust funds. Not family connections. Not parental approval. Just the decisions I controlled and the life I built. I learned something profound through this experience. Family is not determined by blood. It is determined by respect. My parents never respected me. They saw me as a resource to exploit, a tool to use for their own benefit. When I finally had something valuable, they did not celebrate my success. They tried to take it. Garrett never saw me as his sister. He saw me as competition. Someone to diminish so he could feel superior. When I outgrew his shadow, he tried to steal my light. But I learned that saying no is not selfish. Protecting what you built is not cruel. Walking away from toxicity is not abandonment. It is self-preservation. The yacht became more than just a boat. It became a symbol of my independence. A floating reminder that I could create something beautiful without their approval. I still work as a content creator. My business has grown significantly since the viral videos. Brands want to work with someone who stands up for themselves. I moved Grey Storm to a different marina. Somewhere my family does not know about. Somewhere I can dock in peace. I take clients out for brand shoots. Film content on the water. Host small networking events for other creators. The yacht pays for itself through sponsored content and charter fees. I have not spoken to my parents in over a year. I have not seen Garrett since that night at the marina. I heard through Aunt Valerie that he moved back into their house. Still unemployed. Still dependent. Still bitter. My mother apparently tells people I had a mental breakdown. That I cut them off for no reason. That they are heartbroken. The narrative they are spinning to protect their image. But I do not care anymore. Their opinion of me is no longer my concern. I built a life I love. I work with people who value my skills. I wake up every morning in an apartment I pay for with money I earned. And sometimes, on weekends, I take Grey Storm out onto the water. I anchor in a quiet cove. I make tea in the galley. I sit on the deck and watch the sunset. And I feel something I never felt growing up in the Harper house. Freedom. True, complete, uncompromising freedom. My younger brother told me I was not classy enough for their year-end party. He said I should stay home. So I bought a yacht and threw my own party. And when they tried to steal it, I had the law, documentation, and self-respect to stop them. If this story resonates with you, if you have ever been the invisible child, the forgotten one, the one who was never quite good enough, please share this. Someone out there needs to hear that you do not need your family's approval to be successful. You do not need their validation to be valuable. You do not need their permission to live your life on your own terms. Subscribe for more real stories about setting boundaries, choosing yourself, and building the life you deserve without toxic family members dragging you down. Remember, family should lift you up, not tear you down. If they cannot celebrate your success, they do not deserve access to your life. Protect your peace. Guard your achievements. And never apologize for outgrowing people who tried to keep you small. My name is Madison Harper. I am 28 years old. I own a 48-foot yacht named Grey Storm. I built my business from nothing. And I have never been happier. The end.